say Shalom Sabbatt. All praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Judas. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm mad out late today. Usually I'm supposed to be earlier, but I have some things to do. I'm going to read out our first address here. This is first address, chapter 5, verse 64. But with many trumpets and joy shouted with loud voice, insomuch that the trumpets might not be heard for the weeping of the people. Yet the multitude sounded marvelously, so that it was heard afar off. Wherefore, when the enemies of the tribe of Judah and Benjamin heard it, they came to know what the noise of the trumpet should mean. And they perceived that they were of the captivity, did build a temple unto the Lord God of Israel. So they went to Zerubbabel and Jesus, and to the chief of the families, and said unto them, we will build together with you, for we likewise, as ye do obey your Lord, and do sacrifice unto him from the days of Zacharath the king of the Assyrians, who brought us hither. Then Zerubbabel and Jesus and the chief of the families of Israel said unto them, it is not for us and you to build together an house unto the Lord our God. We ourselves alone will build unto the Lord of Israel, according as Cyrus the king of the Persians hath commanded us. But the heathen of the land lying heavy upon the inhabitants of Judah, and holding them straight, hindering their building, and by their secret plots and popular persuasions and commotions, they hindered the finishing of the building all the time that King Cyrus lived, so that they were hindered from building it for the space of 2 years until the reign of Darius. And the reason why I bring this out is right now, you're having the building of the body being hindered by Esau and 2/3 of these people, who want to act like they're interested in living appropriately, and they want to live by the word, but they come in and they sow discord, because these people are damn filthy, bro. All they do is talk crap all day, eating their damn chicken burgers, being completely generous, acting like they're for righteousness when they're not. And the whole point of us going out here and saying what we're saying is to speak the destruction of the society into existence. We're not here to be your friends. I don't really care about making friends out here. You know what I mean? Like, being here is just a pain in my ass, to be perfectly honest. You know what I mean? Like when you speak to people, it's like there's a deadness in their eyes, like there's no real life there, and they feel like whatever the hell they got going on here is so damn important. When you really get to the core of the subject matter, they're not really doing anything here, It's just straight foolishness and just silliness, as Job was vexed with a filthy conversation of the wicked, because you try to speak any righteousness to these people and they just talk out their arse. I'm having people ask me why I'm wearing a beard or keeping a beard when you got damn stubble on your face. What's it called? That razor bump stuff. So it's not natural for you to be shaving your beard, but yet you still do it because you want to impress the galdon. You know what I mean? Because the same jakes who be saying all of this, the only reason why they think you're supposed to trim your face is because a lot of these women find it attractive for a man to not have a beard on his face. I had a chick tell me I'd look so much better if I shaved off my beard, and he just picked up her stuff and just kept it moving as soon as I started talking about this. So whenever people start hearing anything that's not accordance to this world, i.e. not to do with filthiness, it just bugs the hell out of them, man. So this is what we basically got to deal with, you know what I mean? And I feel like, and it's in the scriptures, the only way to bring down this kingdom is spiritually. We can't fight this, man. You got Jakes talking about they want to go get guns and go fight so-called white people. How you gonna do that, man? This man comes down, blows up your community, and you don't do a damn thing about it. But yeah, you want to go get a little BB gun, your little 9mm, and you think you're gonna fight an army. This man got nukes, millions of nukes, and you think you're gonna fight him with a 9mm or a Glock or a 4.5. Jake is just out of his damn mind, man. I got my sword with me, but I just thought I'd bring out the little dagger today and see whether or not there's any scriptures I can bring out. I'm just going through the spirit, man. This is first address, chapter 8, verse 69. The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, and the Moabites, Egyptians and Edomites. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity. So this is how, you know, the so-called Jake be acting in this society. You know what I mean? Like, you mix and mingle with these damn heathens, and then you begin to see yourself as one of them. Because when you be telling Jake about righteousness, the first thing they tell you is, you know, we're all people. If we're all people, how come you're getting killed at alarming rates? If we're all people, how come you're the face of damn coronavirus? You was the face of HIV. You're always a face of everything negative. You know what I mean? You're never the face of anything positive. But, you know, when you want to talk about being respected in the society, you want to talk about we're all the same, we should all be treated with, you're not treated with respect, you know, and you don't want to harken back to your heritage because, you know, you're like the Gentiles, man. You want to mix and mingle with them. And we all know there's no such thing as mingled seed, man. If you take an apple tree and you plant it in Iceland, it's not a mingled seed. It's an orange tree or apple tree or wherever you planted in the land. You know what I mean? You're the seed of your fathers. But in this society, because everything is jacked up, they give women so much props that the women here actually feel like that they contribute more to society than they actually do. And I'm not speaking ill of women, it's just the fact of the matter. You know, if men weren't here, women couldn't maintain the society. Societies are built and maintained by men. And the reason why men build and maintain societies is because men are responsible and we care about our families, we care about the women, we care about our children. Women aren't really built like that, man. Women aren't, you know, the bulk of the engineers here. Women aren't the bulk of the plumbers or the electricians, you know, or the mechanics. You know, when you're talking about them kind of work, they see it as so-called blue-collar jobs, you know, for the most part. Even architects, that's not really a blue-collar job, that's a white-collar job. But most of these occupations which really help, you know, maintain the society are maintained and occupied by men, not women. So how the hell can a woman be equal to a man? You know, not unless you have things like propaganda, like feminism, telling women they can do whatever the hell they want to do. You can go around, jump from dick to dick to dick to dick to dick, from penis to phallus to prick, and you're supposed to be respected as a woman. These times your whole occupation as a woman is to keep your man happy. How the hell are you keeping your man happy when you've had 10 men? Clearly you can't keep not one of them happy, man. And these same chicks, I'm gonna go on the chicks for a minute, man, because like raw, like I had a E just move, and I got some Jake chicks just staring at, man. So, you know, I'm blasting you because you want to stare at people, and I think it's quite rude if you want to stare at people and don't want to ask them or say what's up. You know what I mean? These damn chicks are out of their mind, bro. Now I'm gonna go back to the building, you know, of the temple, you know, and the people who were really, you know, trying to get in there, you know, and kind of stop the temple from being built was primarily the Edomites. And I'm trying to find that scripture now. Where is it? I can't even find it now. Oh, that's a square anyway. I'll just jump to something else. You know? Yeah, where is it? Yeah, I'm gonna jump to first address. Where is it? I want to jump to first address, and this is first address chapter 3. Now, when Darius reigned, I'm going back now, when Darius reigned, he made a great feast unto all his subjects, and unto all his household, and unto all the princes of Media and Persia, and to all the governors and captains and lieutenants that were under him, from India unto Ethiopia, of 127 provinces. And when they had eaten and drunken and been satisfied were gone home, then Darius the king went to his bedchamber and slept, and soon after awaked. Then 3 young men that were of the guard that kept the king's body spake one to another, let every one of us speak a sentence. He that shall overcome and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the others, unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts and great things in token of victory, as to be clothed in purple, and to drink in gold, and to sleep upon gold, and a chariot with bridles of gold, and a head tire of fine linen, and a chain about his neck. So Jake always liked chains, man. Always liked bling bling. And he shall sit next to Darius because of his wisdom, and shall be called Darius his cousin. And then everyone wrote his sentence, sealed it, and laid it under the king Darius' pillow, and said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and of whose side the king and the 3 princes of Persia shall judge that his sentence is the wisest. So they're basically competing to see, who was the wisest, so that they could be, held in esteem by the king. To him shall the victory be given as was appointed. The first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is the strongest. The third wrote, women are the strongest. But above all things, truth beareth away the victory. Now when the king was risen up, they took their writings and delivered them unto him. So he read them, and sending forth he called all the princes of Persia and Media, and governors, and the captains, and the lieutenants, and the chief officers, and sat him down in the royal seat of judgment, and the writings were read before them. And he said, call the young men, and they shall declare their own sentences. So they were called and came in, and he said unto them, declare unto us your mind concerning the writings. Then began the first, who had spoken of the strength of wine. And he said thus, O ye men, how exceeding strong is wine! It causeth all men to err that drink it. So it causes all men to commit error, to make mistakes, to slip. It make the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one. So when you drink, you're as stupid as anybody. You're on one level. Of the bondman and of the free man, of the poor man and of the rich. It turneth also every thought into jollity and mirth, so that a man remembereth neither sorrow nor debt. And I can ascribe to this, because I gotta lay off the wine for real, because I drank this week, and I ended up doing something stupid. It wasn't anything major, but it was something I wouldn't normally do if I was sober. So it leaves you in a situation, or a state of mind where you be doing things you wouldn't normally do. That's why they call it spirits, man. Something will jump on you and make you do some dumbass behavior. They said, hang on, where am I? And he said, oh thus, O ye men, how exceeding the strong wine is! It causeth all men to err that drink it. It maketh the mind of the king and the fatherless child to be all one, of the bondman and of the free man, and of the poor man and of the rich. It turneth also every thought into jollity and mirth, so that a man remembereth neither sorrow nor debt. It maketh every heart rich, so that a man remembereth neither king nor governor. And it maketh to speak all things by talents. And when they are in their cups, they forget their love, both to friends and brethren, and a little after draw out swords. And when they are from the wine, they remember not what they have done. O ye men, is not wine the strongest, that enforceth to do thus? And when he had so spoken, he held his peace. So this man thought, wine was the highest thing in the land. Then the second that had spoken of the strength of the king began to say, O ye men, do not men excel in strength that bear rule over sea and land and all things in them? And when the king is more mighty, for he is Lord of all these things, and have dominion over them, and whatsoever he commandeth them, they do. If they bid them to make war the one against the other, they do it. If he send them out against the enemies, they go and break down mountains, walls and towers. They slay and are slain, and transgress not the king's commandment. If they get the victory, they bring all to the king, as well as the spoil, as all things. In the same way that these so-called army people, they go to Iraq or they go to whatever country, they spoil them, they kill them, they massacre people, they rape, they kill, they murder, they kidnap, and they do all of that for their so-called queen or for their so-called president. They bring the spoils for them. They don't really keep the spoils themselves. That's the power of the king. They slay and are slain, and transgress not the king's commandment, and they get the victory. They bring all to the king, as well the spoil as all things else.